staff experiencing conflict at work, and you know that this conflict needs to be managed before it escalates into a formal complaint or has an impact on your business's reputation, and yet you don't have anyone on staff who has the time to be able to manage this process, who are you going to call? A conflict manager or a workplace mediator? Hi, I'm Andrea Doyle. I am a workplace mediator and a conflict manager. And in this post, I'll help you identify when you have workplace conflict, who is the best person for you to call. In this post, I'm going to compare managing workplace conflict with a pain in your foot, so you can understand the difference between a workplace mediator and a conflict manager. So let's assume that you have a pain in your foot, and probably the first person you might contact about this might be your general practitioner, your GP. And you'll go along to the GP and they might be able to provide you with a solution. Now, the equivalent of a general practitioner in the workplace when we're talking about people issues is a human resources generalist. Now, HR generalists, as they're usually known, will have a good understanding, like the GP, across a range of workplace matters. So, your HR generalist might be able to also provide you with a solution to manage the workplace conflict. So they should be your first port of call. Now, what happens with the pain in your foot if it doesn't go away after you've spoken with your GP? Well, you've got some other options, and that includes going to specialists, maybe a podiatrist or even an orthopaedic surgeon. So in the workplace, who can you go to if you need special advice around managing workplace conflict? Well, you guessed it, there's a workplace mediator or there's also a conflict manager. Now, the difference between a workplace mediator and a conflict manager is that the workplace mediator specialises in a process to take two participants through a process where they can communicate about the issues around the conflict and lead them through to a place where they can start talking about how they will work together when they return to the workplace. It's a valuable strategy in managing conflict. And the conflict manager has a different role to play. A conflict manager should be able to come into your organisation and identify the root cause of the conflict, recommend suitable strategies that are either people-based strategies or organisational strategies, implement those strategies, and then review their effectiveness. The benefit to an organisation of using a conflict manager is that the organisation gains an understanding of what the root cause of the problem is and the strategies that can go hand in hand to address that root cause. Now, the conflict manager should be able to come up with some strategies to help the people side of the conflict. And that could include some on-the-job training or off-the-job training. It could be some coaching or mentoring, or it could be a job rotation or even mediation. When a conflict manager is looking at organisational issues and strategies to address those, they may recommend something like a structural change, the formation of a new team, or another strategy that they can implement for the organisation is to be able to identify what's an appropriate performance process that could be put in place across the whole business. So who are you going to call when you have workplace conflict, knowing that it is a pain point for the business? There are two questions you should be able to ask yourself. First one is, what is the root cause of the problem? And secondly, how do I know that to be true? If you can answer both of those questions and you are confident that it is the right answer, calling a workplace mediator may be the right strategy for you. However, if you can't answer those questions convincingly, then it's time to call a conflict manager who can come in with fresh eyes, have a look at the conflict, speak to all of those involved and present you with some strategies, both people-based and organisational-based, to manage this conflict now and in the long term. So, if you're experiencing pain at work through a workplace conflict, now you've got a better understanding as to whether you need a workplace mediator or a conflict manager. If you need help identifying who's the right person to call, then contact me. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye for now.